Hello, everybody out there in the internet. Welcome to TKKN and Buff Save the Universe, episode number 47. It is Tuesday, April 19th, 2022. I'm Chris Adams, the Tekken Master, joined by.
It's Buff Larkin. Is it April the 19th, Tekken? Because I look outside my window and it looks like it's December 19th. It's snowing. Tekken, it's April and I got at least a foot of snow in Canada. Now you say to yourself, for you people who don't understand Canada, you think, doesn't it snow there all the time? Isn't there like igloos on every corner? No, there isn't, you ignorant people.
That's great.
No, it's by now we got green grass, sunny skies, happy, happy, happy. And yesterday, the snow started coming down in the middle of April. April showers bring May flowers. Well, what the hell does snow bring? That's my question. Because, oh my goodness. And so we're dealing with that all yesterday. It's snow and shoplifters and everything else. Oh, the excitement never ends, Tekken. I tell you that much. But I will tell you something. I will tell you something. WrestleMania was on at the start of the month. I was in Las Vegas running a half marathon. Tekken, where were you? I,
Um, where I'm always at.
I told the organizers. I said, don't start the race until Tekken shows up. And so we waited and we waited and we waited and we waited and he never showed up. I said, okay, fine. I tell you. But anyways, so I know we're going to talk about WrestleMania later on. We're going to talk about some other stuff. Like the great deal I found. Thank God I was 7 years forward thinking by having New Japan World as a subscription because now it's paying off in gold, baby, gold. But anyways, we'll talk quickly about Vegas. I went down to Vegas half marathon. Flew down on the Friday. Got all set up. My buddy, he's the big gambling man, and we got comped the suite, so that was nice. Um, I slept on a cot. My running buddies. There's three of us in the room, and then my the gambler, him and his guy was there. So I got the cot. I said, fine, I'll take the cot. It's all good. Uh, because my other guy was one of my buddies in the room was running a marathon. I said, listen, you have the nice soft bed. I'm only doing the half marathon. I'll stay on the cot. And so we get up. It's like 2 in the morning. We have to get up because the race starts at 6. We get on the bus at like 3 in the morning. We drive up to the mountain. Halfway up there, I didn't bring my space blanket. Have you ever heard of space blanket, Tekken?
I don't think I have,
It's a
but I think I know
blanket
what
for
you're talking
space.
about.
Exactly. Is
The thing
that
that
it's
keeps you
that?
warm.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's the aluminum foil
I mean,
thing.
I maybe have.
So
It's whatever.
yeah,
Probably.
yeah. So anyways, I got that, and the thing is, I didn't bring it with me. Everybody else had theirs, and I didn't bring mine with me because like I'm going to be finishing the race. Usually, you have one of those space blankets for the end of the race, but I'm in Vegas, so it's going to be like 20 degrees. I don't need no blanket then. But they didn't tell me at 5 in the morning I'll be out there freezing my butt off. So I actually did the smart thing, and I went to there's like 50 porta potties right side by side with each other at the very start, so everybody could go to the bathroom and all that stuff before the race starts. So what I did right when I started feeling the cold, I just went in the porta potty, just sat down for a while, teching to stay warm. That's smart Canadian thinking right there. But then finally, I went to the table and they were giving away space blankets. I said, please, can I have one of those? And so I did. So that saved my life. So I was very happy with that. But then the race started at 6 o'clock. It started in the dark with the sun just coming up over the horizon, over the mountains. And it was a beautiful sight running down the road as the sun's coming up. And it was sweet. It was probably one of the best experiences I ever had. And then we got to the 16-kilometer mark, which was 10 miles, and it was all downhill, right? So I'm running down a mountain, so it's I won't say it's easy, but it's not hard. But then when you get to the 16 or the 10-mile thing, 16 kilometer, then it's not as steep. So therefore, you're starting to feel it, and man, was I ever feeling it. That's for sure. And but I ended up getting a blister on the inside of my one toe, and that so every time I put my foot down, I was like, ah, damn it. So it slowed me down in the second half. But my goal range was 2 hours, and I ended up doing it in 1:45. So I was very happy with the time. And I bought myself a cowboy hat tacking in Vegas That was my main goal. Besides beating 2 hour, was buy myself a cowboy hat, and that happened.
Why was
And
that your main goal?
do something different.
Is
Do
that
something
is that why you
different.
changed your profile picture on Facebook?
Yeah, isn't that the nicest profile picture you ever seen in your life? Absolutely.
Mm, you never just took out a hat.
Amen. Oh, that hat is the greatest hat ever. Anyways, my daughter wanted a cowboy hat, so I bought her a cowboy hat as well
But
for her birthday.
don't they
She's
have cowboy hats in Canada?
you got if you're gonna get a cowboy hat, you get it in America, where they that's how it works, and it's authentic, not Canada. Yeah, we get snow in April. You think I'm gonna trust people with cowboy hats if we get snow in April? Tekken, I tell you, no, that's all right. But anyways, so that was my trip. The thing is, and here's the kicker. All right, during this time, WrestleMania is playing Saturday and Sunday. I'm in Vegas Saturday and Sunday. Vegas is a betting town Saturday and Sunday and every other day of the year. Not one television had WrestleMania on. I looked. I was in a casino for frick's sakes. I was at that's where we were staying. Was at Planet Hollywood, the casino there, and it was I loved it. It was a great place. I didn't bet a cent, and I'll tell you why in a second. But there was not one television showing WrestleMania, and I was offended by that because all they had on was the other sports. They definitely had the Final Four playing because that's what I was watching when we are eating at Gordon Ramsay's Burgers, which wasn't that. I They put avocado on a burger, Tekken. What's up with that? Would you ever eat an avocado on a burger?
I don't eat burgers, so no.
Amen. Well, that's better. I thought you were gonna go with the only avocados. Anyways, and so, but not one WrestleMania night did I see. I had to wait till I got back the next when I got home on Monday to start watching a little bit, and even then it was watching Austin and Kevin Owens and all that. So, but altogether, uh, to talk about the last little thing about Vegas, I said to myself before I went, I said I'm going to take some money, extra money out, and I'm going to play with my gambling buddy, right? Because it's gonna let's just this is the time they do it. Let's have some fun. So we'll go. He goes over to Caesar's Palace to work at the casino because he didn't have any luck at the Planet Hollywood casino. So he said, "Okay, I'm going to play baccarat at Caesar's." So okay, so we went all over there, and they had lots of shops in there. So the people that were with us, they're looking and shopping as well. And then we went back and see my buddy. He said, okay, this time I'm going to play with him. And so, but he's at the high table. I said, okay, okay. So it's like $50 a hand, I'm sure. Okay, then I'll play a couple of hands and see how it happens, right? Well, then I look on the table. It's not $50. It's not $100. It is $200 a hand. Win or lose, Tekken. 200 a shot. And I said, nope, I ain't doing that. Because right beside me, there was a roulette table. And a guy had a little stack of chips, $500 chips, small little stack, probably about 10 of them. I would say about then, if my math is correct, $5,000. He proceeds to give the dealer one chip, one $500 chip. Then the dealer gives him back a whole bunch of green chips. So I take it there would be $25 chips, right? He then proceeds to place them strategically on the board. The guy spins the ball, spins the wheel, ball lands in the spot. All of a sudden, it comes up nothing. Guy loses $500. Didn't hit any of the numbers. He had it on like 10 different numbers. Didn't hit one. Then $500 chip. Boop. It gives him deal another one. Gets another stack of green chips. Boop, 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 boop. Like that. Spins the wheel. Doesn't get nothing. Lose another $500. There's $1,000 in less than a minute. That guy lost. He
Gone in
proceeds
60 seconds.
he proceeds to lose the entire hand full of chips, $5,000 in less than 10 minutes. It took longer for that ball to spin around that wheel than it was for him to lose all that money. It was ridiculous. And that's when I said to myself, I'm not betting a cent because I ain't going to win. So there you go. So that's my story of Vegas. That taught me a lesson right there. Somebody was sending me a message, and that was it right there.
So are there any like gambling games that you're good at?
I'd like to try blackjack. I've been good at that.
Could have tried that.
I can, yeah, but there was some. I didn't trust it. I didn't trust it. They had women dancing on the tables in the Planet Hollywood. I'm going, my goodness, how am I supposed to do anything like that? Ridiculous. Or there's women dancing trying to distract you. I said, good luck to you, pal. I'm not gonna fall for your charms,
That's like
Poochie.
that's like part of the how they
Yeah,
try to get you.
ambiance.
That
Yeah,
and the free drinks,
yeah.
just, have a
And
nice
when you,
time, and
yeah,
then, before you know it, you've lost $5,000 in less than a minute, and it's like, ho ho, thank you. The house always wins.
house always wins. And then we went to the next day on Sunday we're hobbling around Vegas, and so we were, because the thing is, you're running down a mountain. So if you do that for so long, then you're activating muscles in your legs that you're not used to activating, right? So your quads are just screaming. And I ran half a marathon, so I ran 21K. I'm not as bad as the marathoners, right? And they like I'm in bad shape because I didn't train as much as I wanted to, but at the same time, I was in so much pain. It's just ridiculous. But luckily, they know this at the race, so they gave us uh, special rubs like the A535 whatever to kind of ease the pain, and so it helped for like a couple hours, and then it starts kicking off. So we went to Walgreens to go and try to find some more of the stuff. Right? Hey man, you got some of the stuff? Got some of the stuff? Got some of the stuff you can rub on? Oh yeah, man, that's we need the stuff. But anyways, so as I'm waiting there, this guy comes in and he drops his one can down at the entranceway, walks in, just grabs another can, then walks back out again. I'm going, what the heck? This is where I want to be the guy who catches the shoplifter and say, "You get out of here!" And oh, this is ridiculous. But I'll actually tell you another shoplifting story since I brought up my mind. So here I'm back in Canada, and I'm with my lovely lady, and we're going into where my daughter works, which is a clothing store. So we walk in the door, and as we're walking in the door, there's a guy walking out of it with a great big bag, a dollar store bag full of stuff, and the alarm goes off, beep beep, and so my lady friend, she doesn't know what's going on. For me, I know what's going on because I'm so well trained now. I go, you didn't pay for that, and the guy said, yeah, I did. And I look in the bag as he's talking to me, and there's like a purse at the very top. I said, no, you didn't, you big thief. Yeah, he goes, and he starts walking down the walking down. He walks out of the store and starts walking down the way really fast because that's the tale of somebody who paid for their stuff if they're walking really fast to get away from the store as quickly as possible. But but anyways, so basically, then of course, me being me, and won't shut up. I go, hey, that's a nice purse. It really goes with your eyes. And then he finally looks back, and goes, and yeah. So that's my shoplifting story. I didn't catch that guy, but I made fun of him. I heard his soul. I put a dagger into his soul, Tekken. That's how it was. But anyways, so Vegas is very entertaining. You've been to Vegas. You've said that before in your past, and I would say it's time for you to go back again.
Pass. I kind of
Uh,
kind of have it as a policy to stay away from cities with over a certain amount
but
of people in them. Point one and point two, just like touristy cities in general, also stay away. So pass.
oh, okay. So what? So what places? What's your top five cities that you would never go and see?
Uh, New York, L.A., um, any that are like super populated like that, or just
Vegas. So
Vegas.
New York, L.A., Vegas. What would be four and five then?
I'm not really sure what the major populated like population centers are. So
London, Ontario.
besides those two, I mean maybe Chicago, and then
Yep.
I guess I'll pick one from the south. or not, because I would never if F the South.
Dallas,
Um,
Texas.
sure, why not?
Dallas, Texas. Because you don't like Cowboys.
I've been
A
to
big problem.
Dallas, Texas a ton though, so because I have a lot of family there. So,
Now, okay, so let's talk about Dallas, Texas. So, uh, since you've been there, is there anything that you like about the place?
dude, I don't really like in what. No, I'll just say no. Okay, like
No, no to Texas.
no to anywhere really, because it's like I'm not. I like in my current
You, you
ways,
like
I wouldn't
you,
go anywhere anyway. So it's
yeah,
whatever.
you like where you are. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so before we get into WrestleMania, I just want to let you know that I picked up a game last night off of PlayStation Plus, and it was a very good game so far. It was so good when I played it in 2003.
Is it
Tekken.
SpongeBob?
It's SpongeBob.
Okay, that's what I thought.
SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, and I spent half an hour playing it last night, and oh boy, I'm having fun again. It's like I'm back to being, 27 again. And Tekken, the hair I had back then, oh, in comparison to what I have now, oh, you wouldn't even recognize me. That's for sure. That was when I would say that was in the infancy of the GAP. That's the Gap, right? It would have been like you would have been what 5 when you joined Gap, so you would have been that. No, I'm just teasing. You're what 16, 17 when you joined Gap.
Uh, Around there, 17, 18, 16,
Yeah,
17,
so
18.
back in that time, Tekken. Oh, I'm telling you. You weren't as swole as you are now, that's for sure, with all your push-ups and all that, and your crunches. But that's okay. But yes, it's nice. It's nice. They've done a good job so far, and they've added on a multiplayer, so that's good. And we'll just see how it goes from there on. It's one of those games that I'll be playing every like once a week or something like that, just to finish it off and see how it goes. What are you playing for games, Tech?
It's funny when you said that. Like you said, you're gonna play it once a week to finish it off. I was in my brain. I'm thinking, are you gonna play it once a week just to feel alive inside? Because that's why I play a lot of things. But I guess
Yes,
not.
100%. 100%. Just because I'm dead. When I was 27, I was alive. Now I'm 47. I'm dead. Bury me with a shovel, then bury the shovel. Now I get to feel alive again. And I get to play with and of course my daughter Melissa was here with me as I was downloading it, and she went, "Oh, you're getting that game, Dad?" I said, "Yep." And then she was laughing, and then all of a sudden the SpongeBob theme came up, and guess who was singing along? Jerk Children. That's what they were singing. So that's good. Jerk Children. That's something. That's the name of this episode. Jerk Children. That's right. Maybe not. Maybe not. Anyways, so that's it for my video game. I took my PS5 out for a spin. I took it over to my lady friends for Thanksgiving dinner. We played.
What? It's
Yes.
April.
Oh, sorry for Easter.
I
I
was
can't
about to say,
tell.
dude. I was like, what the
There's snow on
f?
the ground, Tekken. I can be confused about my holidays if I want to. There's snow on the ground. If Mother Nature is confused, then by God, I can be too. That's for sure. But anyways, for Easter this weekend, and so we played PGA 21, and that was the big deal. So that was
Blech.
good. Oh, stop it! That might be the game we're playing in a couple months. So
Pass on that one.
well, Fall Guys. I download the new Fall Guys, and I'm just as good as it was then. So I'm just as good now as I was then with Fall Guys. So that was good. So I haven't played that game in months since the Thursday night gaming has ceased to exist. But maybe Thursday night gaming will come back again, Tekken. You never know because my availability just opened up a whole lot. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, that's enough of my rage. Let's talk more about WrestleMania.
Dude, you
So,
totally didn't come back to like what I was playing.
oh yeah, what were
I
you
mean, we can go
playing?
to WrestleMania. I'm just
No,
saying.
no, let's talk about WrestleMania.
Okay, so we're doing WrestleMania now.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
all right.
no. How about what you're playing?
Oh, I mean, I'm not
The
really playing anything. I
the
just
people
finished.
who are listening want to know because you're always playing something.
I'm in between games because there's nothing coming out, and I'm not trying to start any new stuff because I'm trying to move and everything, and it's just a giant mess. But I finished the Final Fantasy VII Remake DLC finally after like a year. It's been out, and I just finally got into playing it. Um, what else? I'm playing Gran Turismo daily for like the free crap, but it's like after that game, I'm not gonna give it any publicity.
Playing it every day, but F that crap. I don't blame you.
Uh, I think I played. Oh, I was playing Grand Theft Auto 3 for some reason. Still good.
What?
I was bored, dude. I was like, I don't know what to play. And then like that's the thing is like usually if I'm okay. Here's like a thing. Okay, I completely forgot, but like at some point I believe last month my channel got demonetized, and I was in like YouTube probation, whatever,
Yeah.
and I had to like wait a month to like reapply, and then I reapplied, and like everything is cool again. But like in that 1 month interim, it completely like messed up how I play stuff because usually I'll like stream it, and I'll take the stream and put it on my YouTube channel, and that's just like a nice little you know pipeline I have of just play the thing, stream it,
Yep.
export the stream, put it on the channel, get monetization, get some views, get some ad revenue, bing bing
Yep.
boom.
Yep.
You
Get tax
living
returns.
the YouTube 100 life right there, because it's yeah not as much as I wish it was, but whatever. And then that happened. And I was like, well, crap. If I can't stream anything, because I don't want to like effing know if my channel's gonna come back, then like there's no point. So it's like,
Yeah.
or it's no, there's no point. It's just like I would still play stuff if I didn't put it on the thing on my channel or whatever. But it's like I lost motivation and like incentive, and I was like, what would I play if I didn't have to worry about like licensed music in the game and also the crap of like certain publishers being super aggressive with their content IDs, and I was like, oh, GTA. So, and I'd like
So
recently I had started that like a while ago. I just never went back to it, and I was like, might as well do it now. It's better, like and they just announced GTA 6 is in development, even though it's probably been in development, but it's like and I'm kind of thinking about all the retro PS2 stuff since that whole PlayStation Plus new version or whatever, the weird re reorganizing of the plus and the tiers
yeah.
and all the retro stuff. So I was like, let me play some GTA 3. So I played some of that. And it's weird because like gameplay wise it holds up, but it does feel dated in the graphics and certain other aspects. Like the camera is weird because it doesn't use both thumbsticks. So it's like you use L1 to look around, and then it's just weird going back to it because GTA 5 is just so refined, and then like
Yeah.
GTA 3 is just like you know the like you can like the building blocks are there, but they haven't
Yeah.
really got to where they're at now. So it's just going back. It feels completely different. It plays completely different. It still has like the look and the aesthetic, and like got this that's like the story of like you're just doing stuff for these.
Which okay, so have you played all the Grand Theft Autos?
Yes.
Okay, so okay, we're gonna play a game. All right. And it's called Rank the Grand Theft Autos from best to worst. Go at it. I think it's pretty much it's almost like saying it's almost like okay, five, four, three, two, one. But let's see what changes it. Maybe something's gonna be
I
different.
mean, yeah, like I
So
would just rank them numerically because every version is basically better. I mean, as far as story goes, I like four story the most out of all
oh
of them. But it's
Nico.
like gameplay wise, five was so good as far as like every system in the game is the best it's been. Like the driving, the shooting, the you know, all the other stuff. And like just in like yeah, like the missions or the heists, that was really cool. And like I mean, the only thing five didn't have was like there didn't seem to be a lot of side stuff after you were done with the game. It was just like okay, and then it never came out with DLC or expansions like they did for four. But yeah, I just rank them numerically. I mean, you can make
Is
the
that
case. Yeah, never mind. I mean, I back in the day, I kind of wasn't that big on Vice City. I felt like it was kind of small compared to three, but it's like when I was playing at the time though, I did quite enjoy that they gave you a lot of vehicles that let you traverse the world much faster than in 3, and you could just like plop between the two little island areas and like the little biplanes and stuff. And San Andreas is just, like I've only played San Andreas once. I haven't revisited it, but it's I remember that was such a huge game, and after finishing, I was like, dude, I don't know when I'm ever gonna revisit this. So I don't know. I might. It's such a long game. Like that one's really good too, but yeah, the story's really good in that one too as well. But 5 is just you know
You know,
it's such an improvement. The same thing with 4, like 4 and 5, like they're basically just kept iterating on what they did, and it got better and better. So it's like you can't really. I mean, you could. I would say like as far as like story goes, 4 is my favorite. I would say it's like better narratively. Maybe even San Andreas over 5 as well, because 5 was kind of. I don't like games that do the whole like multiple protagonist things. I feel like it dilutes and waters down like the focus of the story. If you're like from multiple perspectives, it's not as strong as if it's from one person's perspective. That's kind of why I was kind of down on Call of Duty uh, and like stopped playing it because I was just like, dude, we can't just get like one protagonist here, and like it's just too actiony and too jumping all over the place. But yeah, it's like one back like yeah, and then like from like one and two are like so graphically different from the other ones. They're kind of like the top down view. And then I guess I would say like I'm not gonna count the side story games, just like the main lines, because I've played Chinatown Wars, but I haven't played it a lot, so I couldn't really compare it, or it doesn't really like compare to like the ones after 2, because it's got that visual style, or the like what's the 1976 London one, but that's kind of a side game too anyway. So
mm-hmm.
let's see, and then there's like Vice City Stories and or Liberty City Stories and Vice City Stories, but those are also side games. So I wouldn't really count those either. But those are more like 3 in Vice City anyway, because they're not really as robust as San Andreas was. So, and they're just really companion games to the games that they're or the series that they're Liberty City Stories is obviously 3, and then Vice City Stories is obviously Vice City. So they're just really companion pieces, like side stories to like the main thrust of those mainline entries. So yeah, like both said, it's just in a from 1 to 5 is kind of the order I would go in. Though I would say
Okay.
like narratively, story wise, 4 is my favorite because I love that satire on the American dream and Nico and Roman
There you
and
go.
like the whole Liberty City experience as an immigrant. That was actually really like well done, and probably like playing it now would be like really well. At least playing it during the Trump era would be very relevant to be like, man, there's a very interesting perspective to have during this time with this group of people. But I quite
Okay,
enjoyed that one a lot.
well, that's good. Let's quickly get into the wrestling side of this. Before we get into WrestleMania, I would like to say that I have been a subscriber to New Japan World for the last 7 years. And back in the heyday, and I just got to thinking about uh, getting rid of the service because I hadn't been watching a lot of it because the COVID era has been very different, right? And so and it just hasn't been as enjoyable to watch. And to be honest, I haven't watched much lately. So I was thinking about getting rid of it. But then the news comes out that AEW will be streaming Dynamites and Rampages on the service for the people in Japan. Well, I'm not in Japan. I got snow outside in Canada where the igloos are on every street corner. But I do have one thing that not a lot of people have here in Canada, or maybe they do. Who knows? But I have a VPN that can say I'm in Japan, and so I went on my Amazon TV Cube, and I put myself in for Japan, and lo and behold, now I get to see all the dynamites and the rampages, and I am in such a happy place. You couldn't even deflate me with a pin. I'm so excited and off the air and excited. Up in the air. Oh, I'm so happy. Tekken, I'm happy.
I do wish that AEW had a streaming service in the US though, because I missed the one that was on Friday because it came on earlier. And I was like, crap, I missed AEW, and I was kind of annoyed.
And that was yes. And to be honest, you're looking at um, there's still talk about places they can go because now that the merger with Time Warner and Discovery has happened or in the midst of happening, they could be going to who knows where they could be taking a streaming service, right? They could be going to HBO Max, they could be going here, there, and everywhere. So the thought is still if they go, a lot of people are saying HBO Max, HBO Max. Lord knows, probably HBO Max needs it. That'll make JCP happy to know that wrestling's coming on HBO Max. So there you go. But saying that, right now I'm happy because the last couple of weeks of Dynamite and the last couple of weeks of Rampages have been are now on my New Japan World, and I can watch it. So that's nice. And even with the latest one being the Hangman Page Adam Cole Texas Death Match, which was very very good. And there's even some parts that went, holy crap! I didn't expect that to happen. So that was very
Yeah,
good.
I had to watch a YouTube recap video because I didn't see that, and I was like, dude, what the f?
Yep, there's some crazy stuff that's happening there, that's for sure. And now, with that over, they have a month and a half before the next pay per view. And now the key is where they go from there. Who's going to be Hangman's challenger? And that'll be interesting because I'm sure they'll start putting the building pieces starting this week. And I would say, where's Kenny Omega? That's all I'll say. Maybe Kenny comes back. We'll see what happens. That's my thought process. Anyways, let's talk about WrestleMania. We're about what 2 weeks later than what we should be, but that's okay. We get some nice thoughts, including the aftermath and what has happened since. And so, Tekken Night One had some nice surprises. Now, I asked you before we got on here what your favorite night was, night one or night two. The general consensus was night one was the better night. You, on the other hand, went with night number two. So what did you why was night number two better than one?
Oh, just because the Stone Cold stuff. Because that was, I thought that was, it like, it's like, after watching wrestling for like the past 2 years or year and a half or year, whatever, however effing long it's been, it's like, and then like watching it every week, I think the one thing that I like appreciate the most now after having watched that WrestleMania is like when there is a surprise and it's just like, you didn't think that would happen, or like you didn't, like it's not even on your radar to like think what like it's going to happen, and it's just like, just poof, it just like blows your mind. It's just like, man, that was awesome. So it's like night one Stone Cold came out and he had that whole thing with like Kevin Owens, and that was great. But then night two, and you had the Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory
Mm-hmm.
thing, and then it turned into oh, it was so good. It was so, I thought, and then I just like really like enjoyed this WrestleMania because I thought all the celebrity matches were great. Like Logan Paul was great, the Jackass Johnny Knoxville, and
Mm-hmm.
Sami Zayn was great, and Pat McAfee and Austin Theory. Those are all like three great matches with effing celebrities, and like usually those are kind of like whatever, but they're like great matches. And then so you had like the Pat McAfee Austin Theory match, and then Vince came out and he starts fighting Pat and
Yeah.
has a match with him and he beats him. And then the class breaks and Stone Cold comes out and it's like classic effing like 19 years in the making. Stone
Mm-hmm.
Cold returns, does one more beatdown on Vince McMahon. That's also like another thing I love about like professional wrestling is like the whole like the long term storytelling of just like 10-year storyline, 20-year storyline. Like the Undertaker like WrestleMania like finally losing is like a 20-year storyline. It's like never gonna be touched ever again, or like be matched. It's just like stuff like that. It's just like the best thing in that medium. And then like to like see that happen live, and like be a part of it, and like not be like catching it after the fact. That was just like fantastic. I was like, that cannot be touched. And it's just like he stunned him. It was like, yeah, it was like a bad stunner, whatever. But it was just like it just brought it back
Yeah.
to like the Attitude Era, Monday Night Wars, when things were the best they've ever been, ever will be. And it's just like, that was the best. And then, but that wasn't the end. And then he's like celebrating with Pat, and he's done Pat because it's like Stone Cold's whole thing is like, don't trust anybody out. I was like, classic Stone Cold. And like that was just, mwah, that was the best ever. Just so good, so effing good, and just like completely worth the $4.99 I paid for Peacock. that week or whatever. So thank you for that, WWE.
Oh, okay. So, uh, you enjoyed the being you enjoyed watching it on the cock.
Shut up, Buff.
That's what the cool kids are calling it,
Nobody
the
calls it that
cock.
except for you.
Okay, there you go. So, did you have? So, what's so $5? You watched it on Peacock, and are you in? So, did you have a lot of ads during that,
There were no
or?
ads during the pay per view or the premium thingy, but like I mean, there weren't any ads during it, but they had so many like video reels during the show. It's just like, ugh, come on,
Hmm.
because their whole like let's show promo of this thing every 5 seconds, or well not every 5 seconds, but like in between matches, it just got was like, come on, just get to the next thing. But it was like, oh, here's a video package that we've shown already, but here you go again, whatever.
All right. So, you watched. So, okay, that was night two. You thought night two. What did night one have that caught your interest?
Night one.
That is the Logan Paul match. You know,
Um, I guess Becky and Bianca was pretty good.
yep. Which actually I'm watching right now. Which is yeah, right. Now, I like Becky's hair. I'll say that they cut her hair, but I think they did the smart thing. It's kind of like as Jim Cornette would say, if you're gonna if a wrestler was balding, and so they say, well, just put your hair up, and that's the best way. Instead of just going bald and shaving it off, you go and you put on the line in a match, and then you have it shaved off, and then there you go, right? So I think Becky wanted a new hairdo. Not that Becky's going bald. I think she wanted to try up a new hairdo, so they did this whole chop her hair, and therefore she has a new style without giving too much away. I thought that was a pretty nice idea.
So yeah, there was that. Seth Rollins versus mystery opponent, but we already knew who it was. But it was still great.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's see, and then the Stone Cold thing, 'cause that was great.
Well, what did you think of the grand reveal of Cody Rhodes finally appearing in WWE again?
I mean, yeah, whatever.
Well, I was listening to a podcast, and they said they made mention that as much as it was like AEW and all that, there was a time a couple years back when Vince, Stephanie, and Shane and Triple H all got in the ring and said, "We're going to give you fans what you want." And what nobody realized was that how close they were from signing the Elite to the WWE, and then the Elite went with Tony Khan instead, and that so they Cody didn't have to leave. That's what I'm saying. He like that. It's not like they hate the WWE. It's just that they went over Tony. So therefore, you might see themselves coming. Like there's no big animosity. They're just running their own company. So there's a chance. So it wasn't this big hate on. Therefore, that's why Cody was easy to come back over to WWE. And to be honest, Cody's wasn't part of the Elite as much as say Kenny and the Bucks were, right? Cody was more of the add-on to the attraction, right? So him going back to the WWE wasn't it wouldn't be as much of a surprise as like seeing a Kenny Omega or the Bucks in WWE. That's the thing. If you get what I'm saying. But in
Yeah,
saying
I get what
that,
you're saying.
it's nice to see Cody, and nothing has changed from the AEW Cody to this Cody, so that's good. And we'll see just how much WWE pushes Cody, and how much they give him as an incentive to any other AEW people who decide when their contract is up to try to give WWE a shot
I feel like
because
it's apples and oranges though, because like when he had that Raw after WrestleMania, and he had that whole promo about his dad and stuff. That was nice. Like I enjoyed that. Like I enjoyed that, and like the people reacting to him when he came back. But like since I already knew like who it was, that's kind of like, yeah, no big deal to me, or not big, or no big surprise to me. So, and it's like I don't expect him to like be suplexing people through tables on fire. So it's kind of like, okay, we're in WWE now, so have fun with your TV PG limits.
yeah, where's the swearing and the blood? That's right. Right.
Oh.
So yeah, so Becky and Cody and of course Stone Cold and Kevin Owens at the end. So that's also good. Um, what do you think was your favorite match of the whole weekend?
The whole weekend? Ooh, that's a hard one.
At least of the WrestleMania.
Mm, I'm gonna say Pat McAfee and Austin Theory just because that whole sequence was awesome. Like that was just I did not expect that to go that way, and then like it just oh when Stone Cold and Vince, that was just awesome. That was just man, that was like worth it the whole thing. And then it's like of course like yeah, it's it's like watching Patton Austin celebrate. It's like he's gonna start a Randy Dan. It's like oh you know what's it's like yes. Just like so, it's like that's priceless. That was just like man, that was just delicious.
That's good. So where do you think this goes from here? You see, so we have Roman as champion.
I think Roman's gonna stay champ for a long time because like we talked about last time. I just don't think they have any young stars like lined up to be in competition or to be the next in line. So it's just gonna go for like a while until they start building up the set of stars that can be on his level. He's just the face of the. He's well still the face of the brand right now or company. Cause I just watched a I was watching the WWE originals on Peacock and I was watching the Ruthless Aggression thing. So I saw the one with John Cena in it. So it's just like it just like seems like he's it's Roman's time now. So it's like who knows when the next until things are like bad and they need changes. It's like it doesn't seem like they're gonna change anything that's happening because like they've made like you said that one time, like they made all that money last year, so it's like they have no incentive to change things or do anything different.
So we talked well with Cody now with his big speech and all that. Do you think Cody could be the Slam opponent for our good friend Roman Reigns?
Yeah, if not,
So
if not now, eventually, just because it's like it just seems like that's where it's leading to, and that was like that's what his whole promo was about on Raw. So yeah,
yeah, if they build it right, so they're gonna give him the Seth Rollins and all that. Oh, oh, Bianca just got a heel to the face.
yeah, that happened.
Oh, ouch, ouch. Yeah, stay down, girl. Stay down. That's right. Anyways, um, but okay, so then therefore Roman has to have somebody in between here and there. Have they mentioned any rematches for Roman at Backlash?
No, they haven't.
Because they're really hyping up Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair too. How'd you feel about Ronda Rousey Charlotte Flair one?
I like the finish. It was a decent match. I like the finish just because she was tapping out, but the ref got knocked out, so we didn't see it.
Exactly.
So it's like
So it gives
ah.
them exactly. Okay.
Also, about back to like Roman though, it's like Brock has been MIA, so he hasn't been, there. So,
Yeah. Well, now that they've used him enough for the WrestleMania build, now because he only has a certain amount of appearances, right? So you can only use him so much. So now he can go back out and farm in Saskatchewan for a while, and then come back. So this is good. All right. Well, what do you got planned for your wrestling watching right now? Are you interested in watching? Are you interested in Backlash? Is Backlash going to be something like right now? What you see on paper is something that you would watch
I mean, I'll watch it
because
because
you got the top.
I think that's like the interesting thing that they do with Backlash is they turn it into WrestleMania Backlash, so it is like a. I mean, it's not all rematches, but it is like just like it's a good anchor point to like continue storylines from WrestleMania that if they're not resolved, keep them going, or if they're resolved, have one last match or one last fight in the feud or whatever to like mark an end point for it before they move on. or like the thing with the Usos where it's like they're trying to unify the tag titles now. So it's like,
Yeah,
now that they did the main titles, they can unify the tag titles.
yes, exactly. Hmm, that's
Or
good.
like the Edge and AJ Styles thing. So, that was.
E-
I mean, that was a good match, but that was just like a weird ending. So, or weird finish. Whatever.
Exactly. So let's talk about night two before we wrap this thing up. So you like the Johnny Knoxville thing, even with all the shenanigans.
I thought it was great, dude. I really enjoyed when Wee Man was under the ring and then he body slammed Sami Zayn. That was quite impressive. That
Well,
was great.
a lot of people put the comparison of him doing that to Hogan Slam and Andre.
Yeah.
So there you go. Oh, that's awesome. I couldn't stop laughing when I saw that. But so you look at that and you believe it doesn't take away from anything. Um, it doesn't take away from wrestling to see something like that.
Um, I mean, not really, because it was anything goes match, and they were just using like a bunch of props all the time.
Do you think that now? Yes, we had Roman, but the big stars of the night for both nights, Kevin Owens with his fight with Stone Cold, and of course Sami Zayn with Johnny Knoxville. Are we seeing a change in the guard here in WWE, or is it just how it happened? It just
Just
happened on this night.
That's just how it happened. Like, what do you like? I don't see any type of changings. Like, what are you talking about? It's the
Well,
same old, same old.
I'm seeing the trust. Well, you never used to see Kevin Owens in the main event of a WrestleMania, right?
Mm, didn't he fight Roman that one time
No, that was during the. I think that was at the middle of the that because I think that was the
when he hit him with
one
the
that
golf cart?
I think that was still the next night or the same night as Goldberg and was it Goldberg and or was it Drew versus Brock. That one. I don't know. It was in the warehouse that WrestleMania. So I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong. I wouldn't doubt it.
I don't know.
I wouldn't doubt
I
it.
don't really feel like it's a change of the guard, just because like they seem to, or like it's just like the issue with WWE now after all the cuts last year just seems like it's the everybody is just kind of set in, or like the roster seems to be just set in stone and just the same people all the time. So.
Oh, there you go.
And then it kind of feels like they also like did away with the brand split, but they just didn't say it because like you had a bunch of people showing up on like Raw or SmackDown that weren't on Raw or SmackDown. So it's like, did they
Yep.
just do away with that but not say anything about it? Because it's like, I mean, that's why I was watching Raw because Sasha Banks. If I can see that every Monday, so why would I not? It's
Exactly.
like Monday and Friday now. Okay, I'll take it.
Well,
Thank you.
it's all about ratings, and it's about getting that. TV deals are coming up in another few years, so they can't have it keep dropping, or they're gonna have some problems, right? So that's okay. So, yeah, to end this lovely podcast with you, I want to share some news that I just saw.
Oh well,
Look,
before we end, I just wanted to say that
oh, that you missed me?
back to your
Oh,
no
thank
no
you.
no no
Oh,
not that back
oh,
to your thing about the whole it's snowing in April. It
yeah,
is. I have noticed over the last few years that it does like the winters do seem to like kind of linger at least here until May. Like May is like the hard break of when it finally gets warm, and then and like even beyond that, the IPCC report about the climate change stuff going on. We have like 3 years to change it, and like after that, there was gonna be like a hellscape, and I don't think it's gonna happen. So good luck everybody, because I don't think any of the governments of the world are gonna care or do enough about it. So it was fun while
nope,
it lasted. So
yep. Listen, just get the Mad Max outfit going, and you're all set. We're gonna be driving around.
cause I think there's even like a blizzard in the northeast this week in the U.S. So
Yep. Oh,
and
you're
then
absolutely right. So I just, nope. Good luck. Sorry, I hate to tell
I
you.
mean I'm kind of already planning to like move somewhere else. I'm not saying until it happens because I don't want to jinx it. And then it's a place where there's no tornadoes or I mean there might be like a wildfire too. Hopefully, it's all burned down by the time I get there. But what to worry about it. But no
Yeah,
no
hopefully all the
blizzards, no
two. Oh,
tornadoes, no earthquakes from fracking. Hopefully as well. So we'll see what happens.
well, there you go. Fracking. Bunch of fracks. Bunch of frackings. Right. Well, in my final note, and unfortunately I hit the wrong button, so now I'm pooched. Let me get out of here. Florida man, and big surprise on this. Florida man watches Spider-Man No Way Home
Oh, I saw that.
two,
He spent like
200,
however many thousands of dollars.
292 times to set a world record. Now, my friend, would you do it that much to set a world record?
Would I know? It's a waste
What
of
would
money.
a world record that nobody gives a care about?
Yeah.
That's the next thing, right? So, very interesting. It was a good movie, though. I'll say that. Did you watch the Thor?
I haven't seen No Way Home. I did. Oh, dude. Thor: Love and Thunder. That teaser, dude. I am effing hyped. Like, I'm kind of sad though, cause like after I saw like the part where cause like from Endgame, he's with the Guardians at the end, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
man, I can't wait for the next Guardians movie with Thor and the Guardians. Oh, and we got some of that in the teaser, and I was like, dude, I'm so hyped. But then half of it's like him with him, and half of it's not with him. So I'm like, I guess at some point they like split off, which is kind of a bummer. But I can't effing wait. Like that was like the best parts of Endgame, dude. Like him and the Guardians, and he kept calling Rocket Rabbit, and more of that, please, yes. It's really weird because like I'm super hyped from that, but like I don't even care about Doctor Strange too. Like I really enjoyed the first Doctor Strange. It's one of my top 5 MCU movies, but like just I'm kind of like whatever about it. So
Well, that's good.
after watching the trailer
Yes.
anyway, so
Yes. So that's good. I'm very excited about it. Uh, July 22nd can't come soon enough. Amen. That's good. All right then, Mister. Well, that's it for the podcast, and we will
well
talk to
before we
you.
end,
What?
also
Oh,
Buff kind of like
now
messed up
you're
on the
you're gonna yell at
format
me?
here because he
Are you
didn't
gonna?
really I didn't get to go over my night 2 picks, but if I had to go
Oh,
over
night
my
two. Okay.
night
Sorry.
2 picks, I would say obviously the Fatal 4 Way. Sasha finally won at WrestleMania. Yay, Jinx is over. Pat McAfee and Austin Theory, like I said, that was just that was
Yes.
just
Yep.
the best.
Chef's kiss for from Tekken.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Um, and then I mean, I didn't enjoy the Brock Lesnar and Roman match as much as I wanted to, so I'm not going to give it to that as like the top 3. And I guess I'll just say Edge and AJ Styles. That was just like a solid match, even though the finish was kind of weird. Whatever, just good, it was good stuff. So,
Mm.
and then Johnny Knoxville and Sami Zayn was entertaining, but I wouldn't say it was like one of the top matches. It was just
Yeah.
silly, and I quite enjoyed it. But yeah,
There you go.
surprisingly good
Well,
because I
good.
thought it was going to be garbage.
Oh, you know something? They brought it together, and it was what it, from what I hear and what I've seen, they put together a very solid card for both nights. You're not gonna have winners in every match for good matches, but they put their best. They stepped up when they had to, and they've done a good job. So that's good. You got to give them credit, WWE. Sometimes you can't always be slagging on them. So they've done a good job. There you go. All right, good sir. Do you wanna sign us out,
Sure. Where's my
or do you want to share some more thoughts?
um? Well, also other stuff I've been playing. I mean, it's only like a few things. It's like Borderlands Game of the Year edition. I'm just working on the platinum. I have like one more trophy to go, and I've got it because I haven't, like I said, I was kind of took a break from playing stuff, so I just haven't been playing a lot lately. So I was like, at least if nothing, I'd like to get at least like one platinum this year, so I have like some trophy progress or something to like hang my hat on as far as like, well, we got at least we got a platinum this year, not like since and just like we're in such a dry spell right now. Like nothing is coming out, and E3's uh, E3 is not happening. I mean, there's still gonna be like showcases and effing presentations and all that stuff, but it's bumming me out that there's no E3 this year. So that's annoying. And then I was gonna say something else. I completely forgot what I was gonna say. Besides E3, I mean, I'm just hoping like a lot of cool stuff gets unveiled still. But oh, I'm making a playlist on YouTube. And I was watching a bunch of old E3 stuff, and then like it made me feel very nostalgic, just like seeing all like the old stuff and like going through like all the different eras of just like gaming and like I still don't remember what I was gonna say when I was gonna crap on the PS3 that one time, but like it was PS360 Wii was kind of like the worst. It was kind of the worst. So glad we're through it. Glad it's over. And I'm glad the casualization of the hobby did not like completely effing ruin it. So, because I'm just saying, like, look at the Switch. How much like motion waggle action do you see nowadays? When that was just like all you saw for a while there with that and Connect and just like bleh, 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 and just like having it like trying to get forced down your throat from everybody that's making that garbage. And it's just like, well, we made it through without. I mean, sure, there's losses along the way, but now that we're on the other end, it's like, man, let's not do that again ever. And
Ever.
definitely makes me feel very skeptic on VR and not really caring about it. So I'm back to being lukewarm on that because I haven't really played mine lately, and I kind of don't really care either. So, mm. Yeah. But do you want me to sign off now, Beth, or what?
Uh, Kushida
What?
has Kushida Gesundheit. Kushida has left NXT and is coming back to New Japan, hopefully in June, just in time for the Best of the Super Juniors. The man left New Japan 3 years ago because there's nothing for him, and now he's coming back. What's up with that? Come on, Kushida, make up your mind. There you go. That's my decision. And Triple H retired at
Oh
WrestleMania.
yeah, that was that was a great moment too.
That's right.
I mean, we did have that one time where we were like talking about AEW and WWE, but like I would have to like go in depth on it. But I think I am just gonna like stop watching WWE eventually because they're just so like I mean I kind of realized this when I was watching the aggressive or ruthless aggression series on Peacock where like that's just when they dropped like the F at the end to E and they're like it's now World Wrestling Entertainment like entertainment means just
Ruthless,
entertain people so it's not really
you're
about
you're watching Ruthless Aggression on the Cock.
shut up.
That is your there's your podcast title right there for this one. Ruthless Aggression on the Cock.
Hmm.
There you go.
Yeah. Hmm.
Cock. That's good. Anyway.
Um, but yeah, it just there's just some stuff that's like silly to the point of like it feels insulting or just like just feels like it doesn't belong. But then that's like their demographics they're trying to appeal to like everybody. So it's kind of like it gets watered down when you
Mhm.
have the whole we're trying to entertain the kids as well as the adults, and it's just like it just doesn't go there across the line like AEW does, and that's what I love about it. It's just like just or just like when the sick burns on the promos, dude, are just like so good, just so effing good. It's
Mhm.
just like, oh, that was
Mhm.
great. Like MJF, man, MJF effing just like roasting Brian Pillman Jr. was just like, man, that just drove it home to me. Just like how much better, or like
Yeah,
how not how much better, but just like how much more farther they can push it and take it, and like when it's just so good and it's like really good, and just like so good, just man,
that's right.
so good. Or
All
just
right,
and
bro.
then like on the collar match with like him and CM Punk when like he grabs the mic in between like while they're fighting
Yep.
and he says something. He's like, say it. And then CM Punk's just like, eat
Yeah.
crap, Max. That was great. Oh, so good.
Oh, brother. Oh, that's good. All right, brother. Sign us out.
All right.
We're all done.
See
I'm
ya.
tapped out.
Okay, yeah. So taking buff, save. Jeez, I don't even remember the sign off anymore of the show, but I was gonna
Ruthless
say,
aggression. Ruthless aggression on the cock. That's what they
dude,
call it.
wow. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna apologize for Buff. I'm sorry he's like this. I can't help it. All right. He's the way
No.
he is.
Yeah.
Um.
And you wouldn't want to change me. That's the best part.
So so yeah, that's it for this
Are
episode
we
of
getting kicked off of YouTube for me saying the cock so
We'll
many
see. We'll
times?
see. I probably not. It'll probably just get uh nailed
I
down
see all these other
by
YouTube
the
videos and they're
algorithm.
doing worse things than me saying the cock all the time.
So that's it for this episode.
Monetization.
That's it.
You should. get extra money for saying the cock so many times.
That's it
Maybe
for
you
this.
should get maybe you should ask Peacock to sponsor you for this episode since we're talking about the cock so much.
That's it for this episode of Tekken and Buff Save the Universe. So, nuclear war via the conflict in Ukraine or climate change or another COVID variant. Because what what are mask mandates and
The
protections?
pla can't wear you don't have to wear a mask on a plane no more
So all those things pending. This is Tekken and Buff Save the Universe, and you've been saved. Until next episode,
by the power of the cock.
by the by the power of our friendship.